Rosara, our forever friend in the Lies of P Overture DLC, is quite the mystery. Is she Dorothy from the post-credits scene in the base game? Is she Carlo's sister based off the mysterious child's drawing she had in her possession? Or is she something altogether different? Extend your stay in Krat to find out the truth and discover the role she played in the alchemist's master plan. But before we come to a definitive answer, it's time to give credit where it's due. Kudos to Envoy2835 for locating the Easter egg in the previous thumbnail. If you look closely, you will see the sad zealot's ergo just below Laxatia's chest. If you're new to the channel, I've started playing a game with viewers where I hide an Easter egg in the thumbnail of each of my videos. The first person to state what and where it is in the comments gets a shout out in the following video. Now, back to the matter at hand. We first meet Rosara at the entrance of the carnival. She kindly introduces herself and states that she wants to be free. In order to achieve said freedom, however, she needs our help to locate her lost slippers.
Rosara wants to be your friend. Will you be my friend? Rosara wants to be free. But I need my shoes to do that. Please, please help me travel the world. Help me to hold your hand and dance. I will wait for you here. Rosara was locked in a birdcage. I don't know how long I was there. A white butterfly woke me up and freed me. And I followed the white butterfly all the way here. But I lost my shoes while I was running. I don't know where they came off. I have a precious friend. I miss that friend dearly. We played all the time at the Rose Estate. Our hearts were filled with joy. Rosara wants to see her friend again. That's why I have to go back there.
It's interesting to note that her primary motivation seems to be driven by the desire to see her precious friend that she misses dearly. This friend's identity and whereabouts at this time are unknown to Carlo, but are inextricably tied to the Rose Estate, also known as the Monad Charity House. The Monad Charity House was a boarding school for children that provided a career path that ultimately led to one of three vocations: Stalker, Workshop Technician, or Alchemist. The education and training provided to each student was dependent on their aptitude and disposition. As we came to learn in the present timeline, both Carlo and Romeo were at the Rose Estate in their younger years. But how did Rosara fit in the picture, and what was her purpose? After searching high and low for the red slippers, Carlo locates them and returns them to the ever-grateful Rosara. After taking them for a spin, she rewards Carlo with a piece of a child's drawing and a record by the name of Lisram. After a friendly exchange of dance moves, she presses onward towards the Rose Estate. Although at first glance the record may seem like an odd reward, careful observation of its flavor text reveals many missing pieces of the puzzle that is Rosara. It reads, "Since you took my hand, and my time began, I'll fly high and free in the world you gave me. The joy of yearning for someone and embarking upon a journey after escaping the birdcage. Lisram, the song to sing when dancing at the world's end." It's no coincidence that we find a red ribbon and a birdcage in Marchione's workshop. The document labeled "Change to Reconnaissance Orders" supports that Rosara was held in captivity for a time before circumstances changed. It reads, "Intel received regarding an ambush by the legendary Stalker. Priority changed. Temporarily suspend the search for Lady Marchione's small puppet. Prepare for the legendary Stalker's attack." It seems that during the commotion, Rosara escaped from the sadistic puppet master's evil clutches and sought out her beloved friend. But why did Marchione have an interest in this unremarkable childlike puppet? The secret letter with the Ouroboros emblem provides the answer. It reads, "Sir Manus, the key has escaped, but the operation proceeds smoothly. According to the plan, we never found his hidden absolute commands, but we discovered a way to bypass the Covenant. We now have the ability to force more puppets to follow the will of the Order. My experimental arch-puppets will become the very foundation of the Order's great armies. With this victory, you must see my loyalty to you is absolute." Although the author of this letter is anonymous, we can deduce that it is none other than Lady Marchione herself. Prior to her induction into the Alchemist Fanatical Brotherhood, Marchione began as a workshop technician. The announcement for the Brotherhood of Truth provides even more color. It states that climbing the path of ascension in the Order is no easy feat. earning the title of Enlightened One even more so. Despite her origins as a workshop technician, Marchiona earned such high prestige in the Order due to the immense worth of her achievements. It was she who discovered the secret of the sacred maid puppet, a sign from God that opened the door to the potentiality of immortality, and yet Marchiona's immense wisdom and skill took her far beyond even that pinnacle. Marchiona created her true masterpiece, the Archpuppets, to spread the elixir throughout Krat. When her army of God is complete, it will grant the joy of evolution to every citizen in the land. Even the one who will swallow God will know our true loyalty. Awaken, evolve, ascend. Join the will of the Order, brothers and sisters. It's quite evident that Marchiona, as the creator of the Archpuppets, was writing to Simon Manus in an attempt to gain his favor and further her station among the alchemists. Her discovery of the awakened ego, thanks to Camille the maid puppet, and the true nature of Ergo, resulted in the Brotherhood's full pursuit of immortality. Originally, the plan to spread the elixir throughout Krat would have required overriding the programming that prevented puppets from harming humans and following the creator's orders, hence the Grand Covenant. However, Marchiona's research on Rosara yielded even better results. She had discovered a way to bypass the laws altogether. This ultimately led to her creation of the Archpuppets. Despite her diminutive nature, Rosara's very existence had a resounding impact on the fate of Krat. Pressing ever onward, Carlo finds the determined little puppet deep in the Ergo mines in dire need of a recharge. Rosara requests a bit of Ergo to provide her the energy she needs to continue her journey, and Carlo eagerly obliges. This time, she provides Carlo with the single most shocking piece of lore as a reward, along with the second piece of the child's drawing. The Ruins Secret Gathering invitation provides insight on the events preceding a young Carlo's untimely demise. It reads, "To the privileged few, a secret hidden deep within Krat will be revealed. This invitation is only for those at the pinnacle of Krat society. You are the chosen few, those blessed by money, power, and knowledge, and yet there is a secret hidden in Krat to which even the likes of you have not been privy. All will be revealed to you select few at the Devil's Pit. The alchemists of the isle have spent the past decades trying to uncover the secrets hidden within these ruins. At last, we have discovered the great truth and wish to share our success with you. We invite you all to the excavation of a historical altar hidden within the Ergo veins. The contents of this invitation and meeting are highly confidential and intended for the invitee only. Invitee, Carlo Geppetto." Yet again, Rosara, the friendly little puppet, was in possession of an absolute treasure trove of evidence that revealed the most probable cause of Carlo's death, which we know was linked to the petrification disease. The invitation was likely bait from the alchemists to lure the Stalker in training to the Devil's Pit for their evil machinations. The language in the letter is so enticing that any adventurous soul would have fallen prey to its flattery and promises of the extraordinary. Sadly, Carlo in his youth was no exception. An interesting side note before we follow along Rosara's journey is the fact that her design must have been quite different from the mass-produced Homo Machina. Her power source seemed finite. Unlike her kin, without a constant source of energy, she would eventually power down and cease to function. Perhaps this stark difference in Rosara's design supported the notion that her creator was also unique. Let's revisit this after the final leg of her journey. Sadly, when Rosara finally reached the Rose estate, she bore witness to the horrible scene and fled to the lighthouse. It was here that she gifted Carlo the third piece of the child's drawing and made him promise to meet her at a special location. During this exchange, she made it quite clear that Carlo was the precious friend she had been seeking all along, despite her inability to deduce the person standing before her and her old friend were one and the same. She also mentioned that Carlo had a deep affection for her creator, which is a key detail to deduce their identity. We know from the nameless puppet's Ergo that Carlo held nothing but contempt and resentment for his father Geppetto, so the only logical conclusion we could come to is that Carlo's mother, Camille, was Rosara's creator. Only after completing the overture and returning to the present would Carlo be able to find Rosara one last time. She was under the Tree of Friendship near Krat City Hall.
I knew you would. So happy to see you again. Friends always meet again. So I'll wait for you. Again at the world's end. Farewell. My forever friend. Who looks like my dear Carlo.
Rosara had waited for an untold amount of time to meet with her new friend, and her energy stores were nearly depleted. As Carlo approached, she thanked him for fulfilling his promise and gifted him the final piece of the child's drawing. Careful inspection reveals that this was a picture Carlo had drawn as a child, alongside his dearest puppet friend Rosara. Pleased that she had been reunited with her precious friend, Rosara's journey finally came to an end. She was never a sibling, but rather a loving puppet that the brilliant engineer Camille had made for her beloved son. They were once a family, Geppetto, Camille, Carlo, and even his puppet Rosara. But even through all of the pain and the grief that they suffered, a friendship prevailed through the relentless and unforgiving test of time. The references to Dorothy were simply another misdirection planted by the developers to send your minds reeling. It's clear that Rosara had her very own identity and was instrumental to Carlo's journey in a very special way. I'll leave you with one final glint of hope for our forever friend. She knew the truth about Carlo. Due to the time paradox caused by Carlo's journey to the past, the once somber message carved into the tree, longing for friendship, changed into a heartfelt farewell. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know you want more content just like this. Click on these videos on screen to continue your journey through Krat, and I'll be there to guide you when you arrive. Become a true theory hunter for exclusive perks like emojis, early access to videos, and more. Or check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support me in a more personal way. Until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out. Join the Inhuman community today.